Hi, my name's Rachel. I come from Melbourne, Australia. I work as a designer and I'm also the director of a not-for-profit. It's been a really joyful, exploratory kind of a experience. It's definitely been a group experience, particularly because the tour I've been on, there was a big group of people who already knew each other but were open enough to incorporate all of us in. So it's definitely been a very shared experience amongst the group. And for me, it's been a really nice return to a developing country. I've done a little bit of travelling in developing countries before, I've never to Nepal. But it meant that there were some elements that are just not present in Australia that I was really happy to see here again and to be able to jump back into being part of experiencing again. And then lots of learning on the side. Like I was thinking this morning about how we've been walking through areas that I'd never walked through normally as a tourist because I'd have no reason to come to these particular parts of the city unless I was wandering randomly, which I don't do that often, not as a single woman travelling. But also just the people we've been able to speak to, and because they've been introduced to us and have had a long relationship with Seven Women and with Steph, it means you have a different interaction with them. And they've all naturally been very gracious and accommodating for all of our questions. I really enjoyed visiting Bucknall. I think it was a beautiful city and very calming city, and it was a really nice thing to come to halfway through the tour. It really was sort of like a turning point for all of us, where we'd kind of been go, sort of immersing ourselves in, and then we had this really calming point, and it meant that when we came back to Kathmandu, I think we were all a bit like, we've got this. And certainly both mentally and physically, I've been feeling a lot more comfortable ever since. Other highlights for me have been working on the guest house. I think everyone's really enjoying using their own expertise to be able to put a little piece into the guest house. And it's been that lovely combination of teamwork as well as giving back, and being able to give back in an impactful way rather than being given simple tasks, which is naturally the most easy way to be able to get volunteers who are only here for a short period of time to come, whereas I think everyone's feeling like the work here is really meaningful and is going to be really helpful for a long period of time. And then, just because 3 is a good number, and my third highlight has been being able to practice my Nepali so that I can actually talk to people on the street, and it's really fun seeing their faces when they get surprised, because I've been practicing on Bhatin, so she's been improving my pronunciation, but then I'm still at that point where if I ask how the price is and someone gives me the price in Nepali, I'm screwed. I would be telling them that if they want to see Nepal, this is a great way just from a tourism point of view, but also that this is a beautiful mixture of almost like a cultural homestay and volunteering experience and tourism experience all mixed up into one in a pretty short period of time, which makes it a lot more accessible for people to fit into their holidays when they're not doing long trips. So I can see a lot of people being really interested in this purely because it is quite different to just going somewhere and travelling around the city for a few days and then moving on, because that's all you can extract from it. This is not an extractive experience. I'm going to carry home a singing bowl, a gong, and a couple of pieces of beautiful silver jewellery. I'm also sort of carrying home, but actually returning home to some new friends, both in Melbourne and Sydney. What I'm looking forward to actually carrying home with me, though, is memories of those interactions with people. I don't think I'm going to remember the Nepali that I've learned from a few words, but definitely that to and fro conversation and then that learning from each other. I think on both sides there's been a beautiful, friendly sense of curiosity that has been really nice to experience, and it's been different to what I've experienced in other parts of the world. There's a particular Nepali angle to it that I felt this time around.